to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Good morning, my beautiful people. And as always, Facebook over here acting a damn fool. So give me 1 second to get these streams coming back up over here. Okay, so welcome everybody to another episode of everybody's favorite morning show, the Wake Up Happy Sis Show. I am your host with the most, Leanne Dulce, the Chief Self-Love Officer over here at Wake Up Happy Sis. And we are happy to be broadcasting live from KCCR Cityscape Radio because we're changing the narrative for our people because Sharonda and I always telling our story our way. Every episode, every show, that's all we do. Today, we are talking about harmony and heart, cultivating a spiritually charged life. Now, for me, it's not about church. So let's go there. Spirituality is not about church. Okay. So don't come in here with all that energy because I don't subscribe to church. Okay. I am very spiritual. I'm not uber religious. Let's make that distinction. Spirituality, religion, not the same, not always the same thing for everybody. Okay. But I'm hoping that we can kind of bridge the gap between this kind of inner essence that we have, the external tumultuousness of daily life, right? And then also connecting to that higher power, whatever you believe that higher power is, the ancestors, the universe, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever, right? Believe what you believe. Don't harm other people for believing what they believe or don't believe, right? But we are all connected to a higher power, to a higher essence, to a higher something. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to talk about how we practice spirituality in our lives, and what it means to us, and maybe some tips on how you guys can connect to your inner peace, can connect to spiritual wellness, purposeful living. That's what we're really talking about today. And then I have my fabulous co-host over here. Hey, Sharonda Boo.
Hello, lady. Hello, peoples out there. So let's just get something straight about this thing about religion. Hey, Tanya.
Good morning, Tanya. Good morning. Good morning.
Let's get into it because religion is man's interpretation of what they thought God said.
Ooh, say that again. See that?
Hold on.
Where's the damn fan? Where my fan, baby? That was a clackable moment.
Clackable. Yes, we haven't trademarked that yet. Y'all can use it. So, religion
on the way. Clackable.
Clackable. That's going to be our new dictionary word for. We need to go ahead and get a hold of Webster and stuff.
That's right.
So religion is man's interpretation of what they thought God said. Religion will not get you into the afterlife. It's the relationship of God. The relationship is nothing more than, Daddy, guess what happened to me today? Daddy, is because we are on a personal basis. We've been through some stuff, so we're not all formal anymore and stuff. And so it's the relationship. It takes out the middleman. It takes out all of the guesswork, and you're hearing directly from him. And I agree with you, Leanne. Now, back in the day, as a new mom, and I had been a new Christian, maybe about 5-6 years old at that point and stuff, and in the church and trying to stay with the flock and all of the things. But then once the shepherd of the flock decided that I couldn't speak directly to Jesus, then Houston, we had a problem. Actually, we were in collision. But anyways, yeah. So we had a problem. A whole damn problem, because then I started realizing, so how come when we walk into the church, it's been an hour and a half and we still ain't got to the word? But then once we finally get to the word, he's reading the word. I'm I'm a little smart. I'm educated and stuff. I can read.
Right.
Ain't Marla Way here for you to do for me
Exactly.
today, sir. And then we started realizing, how come not only an hour and a half and we still hadn't gotten into the word, but you didn't pass the doggone plate like twice already. Still ain't got to the word now. I'm just like, so, what we really doing here and stuff. And
Baby.
so we've been contributing to this doggone building fund that still ain't been built for years.
Now, what are we building? What at this point we built a lot of some things, but we ain't seen nothing.
Child, it was the day that my eyes were opened when I realized he was trying to get in between me and my father, and we can't have that. So,
Gate.
Arif and I, we got on the same sheet of music, and we decided that we can hear directly from him, and we started pulling away from the church. And let me tell you, our faith has never been more robust since we got the middleman out of the way. So when you're new in your walk, you need milk because you don't have teeth. But once you have teeth, it's kind of hard for you to get satisfied if you're just focusing on what's in the Bible. Get away from the book.
Very true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, just talk about my own life. I'm just talking
No,
about my
but
own
I mean, if you think about it, think about the history of church in the Black community, right?
life.
We are a very spiritual and religious.
Yes. Yeah. And it serves its place and stuff. But
It serves
then
its place. I'm not saying for you to not be connected to God, Jesus, Allah,
in
Buddha,
the
whoever,
congregation and all of the
right?
things and stuff.
What
Right.
I'm saying is, know that there's a difference between spirituality and between religion. I can be
Absolutely.
spiritual and connected to God, the Most High, whomever I pray to. Now, that for me, that's God.
Mm.
But whoever I pray to, I can still be connected without subscribing to the norms of this religion over that religion over that religion. Am I Buddhist? Am I Protestant? Am I Baptist? Am I Catholic? Right? Because I've
Mm-hmm.
been to churches where I've seen the pastor there did a what do you call it? My brain just stopped working. The pastor there did an exorcism on a young lady. Now, obviously, not in front of all of us,
Mm-hmm.
but he did one, right? I think that people who just read the word, are you really connected to the Most High? Is he speaking to you, right?
Hmm.
That that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at religion. I am looking to, you are the person who is supposed to be speaking on behalf of the Most High and translating what he said, his messages, and sending it to us, right? Spirituality is my connection directly with the source. It is him speaking, him, her, whoever, to me, through me, and guiding my steps, ordering where I'm supposed to be, helping me dive into what my spiritual identity is. Because that's when you understand and you take your own spiritual journey, not the journey someone else is telling you to take, but you get connected to source itself. It's like embarking on a sacred journey inside yourself because
Mm-hmm.
you're going to learn you in a way that you've never learned you, right? And you can't have somebody saying, well, in order for you to talk to God, you got to go through me. No, I don't. No, I
They
don't.
tried it. And before you knew better, you're
You
like,
followed what you were told. I grew up in church, right? We grew up in
mm-hmm.
church. Now, I wasn't in church one of them that's in church 5, 6 nights a week, but we went to church every week. We had a church home, a pastor, all of those things, right? We
Mm-hmm.
had all of those things. So Veronica Smith over on TikTok says, "Spirit bear witness. spirit. Bear witness with your spirit. Yes, that's, I connect to multiple sources. Okay. I am very connected to the Most High, to God, Jesus. I am very connected to the spirits. I am connected to the universe, and I'm connected to the collective of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My spiritual journey is mine. It's about who is Leanne beyond this job, beyond the relationships I have, beyond the role, my social roles, right? Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be open and honest and vulnerable with yourself to get into the depths of your core, to look at yourself bare naked for your good, your bad, and your ugly. Because we all possess all three of those, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mm.
We all possess that. We all have the ability to be uber petty. We all have the ability to love beyond what our physical is. You can look at a child and love that child, even though that child did not come from your body, and love them as much as you love the one that came from your body, right? So we have to look deep inside of ourselves. We have to start peeling back the layers. And sometimes to find that spirituality and to find our spiritual identity means we have to break through some of that trauma that we've lived through. Yes, Veronica, it is. It's having a relationship with God is transparency because God is inside each of us. That is why we can connect directly to source because he is within us. That spirit is within us.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
guides the steps that we take. It is that inner voice. And apparently some people don't have an inner voice. I thought that was interesting when I heard that. People don't
Really?
have like a voice in their head.
Hmm.
I was like,
That's real. That's peculiar because I think I might be having a doggone argument with my inner voice sometimes because my inner voice don't have a filter and stuff, and my outer voice be trying to hold her back a little bit and stuff. And Becky and my inner Becky and my inner Bonquisha
right. The
being
the fight, the
in
fight,
twin.
the
Yes.
fight, the fight between Alexis. So you got Alexis.
And Ricky Bobby, right?
You remember Ricky Bobby?
I know who Ricky Bobby is. Me and Ricky
Ricky
Bobby,
Bobby is, for those who are new
yeah.
around these parts, Ricky Bobby is my inner hater. And he is the one that's always trying to talk shit about me to me, that's always trying to talk down, who's trying to always make me feel like I'm less than, like I cannot do or do not know. Right. So everybody has that little inner hater, that thing that makes you feel scared and insecure in situations. Right. We all have that.
Mhm.
So, how do we navigate that? Because I also have an inner Alexis who is like my fighter. Leanne is the one that sits in the middle, right? I'm the one that sits in the middle. I'm more of the calm, kind of nonchalant one. I'm direct. But Alexis, that heifer, she's like the Bonquisha of the family. She's the one that's going to step up, stand out, where I am a little more reserved, where I'm a little more introverted. Alexis is whoever you see. And no, I'm not bipolar, schizophrenic, or have multiple personality disorder. I do not. What I have is I know the different aspects of my personality and I give name to them so that I know where I'm at in the moment. So let's be clear on that before
Mhm.
anybody is like, oh, I'm not. I'm very aware that it is me. It is all Leanne. I just give them different names because they have their different aspects of my personality, right?
Mhm.
And when we're looking at our spiritual journey and you start peeling back those layers, sometimes you're going to encounter a lot of resistance and discomfort and emotions on that journey. That journey to healing that journey to finding your spiritual center, your core, to connecting with that voice on the inside, with that spirit, with your ancestors, with God, with whomever. Sometimes, interesting. That was an interesting phone call.
What?
Okay. Um, I I got a call from somebody at from a TSP office. I'm gonna have to call them back. Because we on the show, and the show right now, this is the most important thing. We locked in right here. But when you start peeling back and you get that uncomfortability, okay, you start to get uncomfortable. You need to lean into that. That means you're gonna have to let go of some of that hurt and that pain. You're going to have faith that everything is going to turn out okay. It's going to be all right. That the situations and things that you're going through, there are lessons in these that you're supposed to learn. Life ain't supposed to be easy.
Hmm.
It's
Well,
not. It's not supposed to be a cakewalk. Because if life is easy,
hmm.
then do you really have a true understanding for the beauty of possibility, for the beauty of completion, for the beauty of the triumphs that you have? You cannot have triumph if you do not have trials and tribulations. You don't know happy if you don't know sad.
All right. So let's slow things down a little tiny bit about the relationship that you have with your higher power. Think about the way you introduce yourself, and we'll cut it off at the first two words. I am. I am is also a name of my daddy, right? So that means he's not out there and I'm in here. We are one. I am Sharonda. I belong to him. It's so you take away going out there to a physical building to go and look for him, because you are him. You
Yeah.
are made in his image, right? So you two are this many together, right? So it's the taking away the excuse or the energy or the trip to go to an edifice to find somebody that was never lost but was
Mm,
with you the same, with you the whole doggone time. You don't have to go look for him. He's been here. You are the one that's lost. So when you look at your faith walk, again, talk about myself. We're
that's
not
all
looking
we can do. Start with self. That's all we can do is start with self.
That's all right, Tanya. We here for it. We are here for it. It's not a struggle. It's as easy as you want it to be, or as hard as you want it to be. So my upbringing started in the my higher power told my grandmother, specifically of my mother's three children, that middle one, I'm the middle one. That middle one is going to need this more than the older and the younger one and stuff. And
That's
so
right.
I was the one dragged to church. It was gonna be
It's
it,
like, she gonna need this. That one. That
because
one right
when she turned teenage, ooh,
here. I
oh,
already see it.
she can't see it. She's only 8 years old, or however old I was going to church with my grandmother. And so excuse me. So I started off in the church. Me and my siblings, and my mother, we were baptized in the same in her church. So we have a faith walk and stuff. But it morphed. When I was rebelling at 16, I wasn't trying to hear from him and nobody else, because I thought I knew better than all of them.
Oh, of
Because
course.
again,
Don't we always? You can't tell us that we don't know
oh, good.
better than anyone else. Let me jump in just real quick. Anybody who wants to jump into our
Yes, please.
conversation, this is a drop in show if you didn't know. That means you can come live, join us on the live on StreamYard. You're just going to head over to WUHS as in Sam.in/join the live. All is one word. Join the live. All is one word. Okay. You can come on in, join this conversation with us. Those of you who are over on TikTok, you can definitely come in, but keep it respectful, because we don't play here and we will pump and dump you real quick. Don't come over here with all the BS. We are here to have real, open, honest discussion. Okay. If
Mhm.
you're down for that, you can join us on our talk. If you're not, then listen in because we love to have you and hit us in the comments. Hit us in the comments because we want to talk to you.
Yep,
We want
Tanya,
to know you.
I got the doggone understand the assignment because we all always talking to Tanya. Ever since she been in our universe, we have
Tanya
definitely,
came in and she is here. Okay.
yeah,
And I love that. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just
no
want to
problem.
drop that.
Okay, so my faith walk looked like growing up in the church. It was of course the King James Bible. Then I rebelled at 16 to 18 years old, lost all of my God given mind. And then I came to him 5 or 6 years later when I came home on leave. I was in the army at this time. Oh, in my army days, in my enlisted time, I used to be a chaplain assistant. I was exposed to all different types of clergymen, chaplains in the military and the different walks of faith. And I got to, cherry pick, so to speak, the different aspects of what service I supported. And it started to shape me. And
Yeah,
my,
definitely.
huh?
I said definitely. That would
Oh yeah.
definitely
So
shape
I
you.
got to so my background is that our church services last for hours. Well, a Catholic service or a Protestant service, maybe an hour. They can get everything in an hour and you go and stuff. Um it's the it's all of the different aspects of the different religions that shaped me. And then later on I went to my brother's wedding, and the day of the wedding in our grandmother's church, he said, "I want to be with you forever." I was like, "What you talking about? You can't go nowhere. I can't go. I'm your sister. What are you talking about?" And that's when he expressed that relationship about God and Jesus, and he only loves me and he wants to be with me in this lifetime, this afterlife. And so when we went to church that day, I promised to God, I don't think I walked. I floated up to the altar and deepened my relationship with him, and was baptized that week later. And a whole conversation took place underneath the water for that long of a time. And I'm like, Lord, so all I got to do is be obedient. So I get to have whatever, like the desires of my heart. He said, yeah. I was like, it sounds like you get the short end of the stick. He was like, don't you worry about me. You do what I said. And so then I talked to a Reef, and a Reef and I, we were dating at the time. So in his mind, he had been christened as a baby, and he thought that was enough, quote unquote. And I was like, no, a baby is dedicated. A baby is christened because they cannot speak for themselves. You, on the other hand, you're an adult. You have a relationship with him where you can say and understand and display what your intention is with your faith.
Mhm.
And girl, it was the way I guess the message got through, because here I am talking to him on the phone. He's gone to go find a way to get baptized. It was a whole doggone thing. It's a whole cartoon.
But I love that, and because I want to focus on intentionality because I think we're getting too far into the religious aspect of it and away from where I want our conversation to be today.
Yeah, coming out of it, coming out of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk a little bit about intentionality because I think that is such an important piece of people's spiritual journey, right? Is to live with intention. That means that you have to be aligning your daily actions with kind of the deepest values and desires that you have, right? It's about moving through your day with a sense of purpose, consciously choosing paths that resonate with your spiritual essence, with the spiritual journey that you want to take, right? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when you're being intentional, that means I'm going to start my day with heartfelt,
Attitude.
clear intentions
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
align with the spiritual journey that I'm trying to take.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Today, I choose kindness, right?
Every day is a choice. Mm-hmm.
Today, I open myself to new learnings because some days we choose violence.
Oh my gosh.
Some days we wake up and we with all the shits and when we want all the smoke. Some days it's warranted. There were archangels, there were fighter angels, right?
Mm-hmm.
God's been
Man.
known to smite one or two. Okay. The point is, we have to set those intentions, right? And we need them to act as anchors in our life to guide our decisions, to guide our interactions, and
Mm-hmm.
ensure that it is a reflection of our true self. Because remember, He, the ultimate He, lives within each of us. And we have to set the intention to listen to that inner voice, that spirit, the ancestors, the guiding angels, to tell us where are we going and how are we going to act. We couple that with the lessons that we've learned growing up about
Mm-hmm.
how to be a good steward, of a good citizen, a good person, how to love our neighbor as we love the Lord, how to find a partner who also is equally yoked and on that same kind of path, a same or similar spiritual journey,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? But their journey is still going to be unique to them and their
Yes.
experiences and where they
Yes.
want to be in life. But
Yes.
we have to know that it starts with our intentions and our faith. Well, it starts with that faith, the faith that there is a higher power, that there is something greater than us that we can connect to, that lives inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
That thing that connects us all together, that humanity, those ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
those angels, God, Buddha, the universe.
Man.
We have to start
Man.
there. And then we move to our intentions. Who is the person that I want to be at the end of the day? What is the life I want to lead? And how do I want to leave this world? What marks do I want to have left on this world? Our spirituality plays an important part in that.
So Tanya says, do you think our environment hinders our level of spirituality? No. Let's
Well,
talk. Remember we talked about
that's
that,
good because
Tanya.
we're gonna have different opinions on this. So you go
Okay.
first.
Okay. So Tanya, so we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. So what if you take away all the things, the excuses that's in between you and God? So if you can't try, if you're, what happens if you're an invalid, if you can't, under your own physical power, get out of or remove yourself from that environment? What about going right here? You don't have to go anywhere. It's within. And it's a choice, like we talked about. It's a choice, a daily choice to be closer to him. You don't even have to move from where you currently are. This is a inter in it's the
And
intimacy part that he craves as having a relationship with him. If you decide that you want to be closer to him, then that's a done deal. You can change your mind because that's free. How about that?
now let me say this. Now I 100% agree with Sharonda, but I think a lot of it starts with how you grew up. So look at it this way, right? Because the reality is people don't always know how to break from the traumas and things that may be generational curses in their family, right? So you do have to make a choice.
Mhm.
Do you let your environment control your spirituality? And because when you grew up, if you grew up heavy in the church, let's say you grew up in an uber religious, like you was in church every day, there's a different thing, and your family
Mhm.
had very strict, very, very strict definitions. You
Mhm.
cannot be gay or bisexual, blah, 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 all these things, right?
Mhm.
But as you go out in the world, you see that what you grew up learning and what you are experiencing are not, they ain't even at the same level. And you have to make a choice in your life. So yes, it can initially hinder your level of spirituality, but that's when you're young, because you are guided by what you know, by what you are taught, what you see. And those generational curses, those generational lessons, those cultural things do have a very heavy impact on our spirituality. But once you get to be an adult, you have to make the decision for yourself. That's why I think it's important for people to go inward, find out what is the source of your faith. Let's take the person who is an invalid. They can take two different paths. The path of God has forsaken me because he let me live this way, or there is so much beauty in life that I'm still witnessing, that there is definitely a God, because I could have not even been here to experience this, and my disability is but one small aspect of who I am. It's all in how you choose to view life, how you choose to view faith, how you choose to live your spiritual journey. What's the walk you want to take? You have to make a decision. So, yes, it can hinder, but that's only when you are not living in your own thoughts and of your own mind. You are still living under someone else's control and devices, and you have not created that relationship with source. When you don't have your own relationship with source, then your environment can hinder your spirituality, because you are not thinking for self. You're not thinking with your heart. You're thinking with somebody else has placed in your mind. You have to make that choice of which way you want to go. I want to talk real quick. Well, let's we gotta do a little break. We didn't 30 minutes already, Sharonda. 30 minutes. We be
See,
talking.
I told you. I told
We
you.
be talking. You know when me and Sharonda get to going, we get to going. But you are tuned into the Wake Up Happy Sis show on KCCR Cityscape Radio with your fabulous host, me, Leanne Dolce, and my co-host Sharonda Seeley. And we'll be back right after these words from our sponsor. Hey, sis. Ever feel like you're on the verge of a meltdown? Are you overwhelmed from juggling your job, your family, and trying to fit in me time, but seriously dropping the ball on that last one? Guess what? You're not alone. Introducing the Burnout Recovery Kit. It's your 14-day lifeline to go from burnt out to lit up. Get ready to reclaim your joy, energy, and that I got this attitude. Grab your free ebook, a purpose-driven workbook, daily email prompts, as well as SMS boosters and Q&A sessions. It's like a spa day for your soul, and guess what? It's totally free. Don't waste another minute feeling drained. Go to officialburnoutrecoverykit.com right now and kickstart your transformation. The Burnout Recovery Kit, because you deserve to be at the top of your own to-do list. Don't just cope, thrive, sis. Yes, we we all about thriving over here. In case y'all didn't know, that's what we helping you do every day, all day. Okay, that's the point of the Wake Up Happy Sis show, to move you from surviving to thriving, and your spiritual walk is a big part of that. So let's talk a little bit about, what do we want to move to? Purposeful living. Okay, because to me, that's another big part of my spiritual journey, is making sure that I'm living with purpose. I've been lucky that I know what I was put here to do and how I was put here to serve. We all have unique gifts that we bring to any engagement encounter that we bring to this world. Some of us are still trying to figure that out, though, right? And as you figure out your purpose, it's like uncovering your personal compass, right? Because it's guiding you towards fulfillment. Your purpose is also going to guide you towards spiritual alignment. But you got to start with some deep, heavy introspection, asking yourself what truly brings me joy, satisfaction, and gives me a sense of contribution to this world. How can I be of service to this world? What are the gifts that I was given, that the Most High left me with, left me in charge of, that I am supposed to give to the world? And how can I use these to serve my community, but also my own spiritual growth? Tanya said, I think you hit it right on the nose when you said how your trauma can block your spirituality. Yes. Yes, Tanya, it definitely can block your spirituality because you're still, a lot of times, we operate out of survival mode. So the things that we grown up learning, the lessons that people taught us, good or bad, that have turned into traumatic experiences in our life, shape who we are. Because at times you will question, is God real? Is there anything outside of these bad things that have happened to me?
Stop. The mere fact that you woke up today means you have another chance to get it right. Talk about if God is real.
And
Nobody else, nothing else can wake you up. Not the family members that you love so dearly. Not your nobody. That's as raw as it gets. So get in the habit of focusing on the positive. Tanya, give it to God. Don't. Okay, I want you to unstick yourself or unfuck yourself or whatever the doggone term is by giving him everything. Don't, hold back and I'm gonna handle this part by myself. No, give it all to him and watch him work. You get to choose which one, what is it in your life, or what is it you would like to experience, or what is it that rings your bell, what is it that lights your fire. Focus on the things that make you happy. Do more of that stuff. You are so much more than what you've the trauma that you've been through. You're much
yes,
more than that. You're
yes.
much more than that.
Yes. And you have to, so when I say that deep introspection, this is what I'm talking about. Exactly what Sharonda and I are telling you. You're still figuring out, a lot of people are still figuring out. Life is a journey. It is not a destination. We're all figuring it out. We don't have
Still to
every
this day.
answer. We don't have every answer, but you have to engage in some reflective practices, Tanya. Okay. Did you send me that love letter?
That's a good
Did you
question.
did you send me? Because I remember we talked and you said you wrote it. I don't remember if you sent it to me, Tanya. If you didn't, I need you to head on over to Instagram, to Facebook. You got me on Facebook, and send me that. I feel like you did though. I feel like you did. My brain don't, but we have to, but I need it to be more than one paragraph. It needs to be a full letter to you, right? Because that deep introspection is what you need to go through to figure out, who is Tanya, who is Leanne, who is Sharonda. How do I want to show up in this world? What are the gifts that I've been given? Because you do have them. And how can I use those gifts in my faith walk, in my spiritual journey, to help me? But as I'm helping me, I'm also helping my community. I'm helping the world. You need to do a little meditation. Okay, good, good, good. I remember you did. You right. You right. You right. You may need to write another one. It may need to go a little bit deeper, right? It may need to have some forgiveness for yourself in there. A full letter, not just a paragraph, a full letter to yourself. You can make it a letter to God if you want. You can make it a letter to somebody who's hurt you, right? But I think you need to do some guided visualizations to envision the life that you want to lead.
Yeah.
What is your
All
ideal?
there.
What is your ideal life look like? And this ain't just for Tanya, this is for everybody. What does your ideal life look like? the roles that you play in life, the people you impact, the legacy you want to leave, what makes you happy. When I am at my best, this is what I look like, feel like, sound like, smell like, taste like. This is who I am at my core. And then you need to figure out, how do I live that now? Because as we've said time and time again, you have everything you need inside you.
Stop
Because
reading my mind, ma'am.
you know what?
Tiny.
Come on, yeah.
You have every single thing you need to be successful. And I want you to stop avoiding thinking about yourself in a better light, in a better place, in a better, you still trying to figure out. No, that's the part that you get to decide to give away to him so you can be your best you.
That's right. That's it. Right? We have to we get to choose how long we want to sit in that trauma.
Hmm.
Okay? We get to choose when we start our healing journey. We get to choose how long that generational curse is going to continue,
Hmm.
because
Yep.
you can
You
stop
can
it with
perpetuate it or
you.
stop it.
That's
Or
it.
change it.
You have every ability. So I need you to write out your goals, right? It starts with that introspection. Who am I? Who do I want to be? What does my ideal life look like? Turn that into goals, right? I have $1 million. Write them in the present. I have $1 million. I am the owner of a profitable bit, whatever your thing is.
Speak it.
I am married. I am this, right? My personal mantra that I heard on TikTok, and I actually say this to myself: I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch. I am love, I am loved, I am loving, right? That was clackable. That was clackable. That was a clackable moment, right? I have a whole in my phone. If I wasn't on my phone over here, I would show you guys. In my phone, I have different affirmation statements. And I don't just use I am. I am is like foundational. When you're thinking about affirmation statements, I am is the basis. It's strong, but there are stronger. Each of your chakras has a different affirmation statement. I am, I think, I know, I love, right? There's different ones. So you have to change how you speak to yourself, about yourself,
Yes.
to others, and about others.
Yes.
You get to choose. You get to choose. You set your intentions. How do you want your year to go? Because once you have a goal, you now have a path. You know what I mean? You now have a path once you have a goal. Where do I want to be in my spiritual walk? How connected to source do I want to be? And source is me. It is the most high. It is my elevated version of myself. It is my ancestors who speak to me and through me. It is God. It is the universe. It is the collective of humanity, of love, because God is love. So it's how I love myself, how I love everybody else. But it starts with you. You have to make that decision. What are the goals that you are going to set for yourself to move you to your next best level? It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. It's going to hurt sometimes. Life isn't supposed to be an easy little cakewalk. If you look at the things that people go through in their life, when you ask to be more patient, how do you get more patient? By having situations where you have to be patient. We live in this microwave era where everybody wants change instantaneously. It's been 5 minutes. Why am I not patient yet? right? It's 5 minutes. Why isn't this pain gone yet? Why am I not through this?
Because you in the way.
You're not ready.
Because you are in the way of him doing his doggone job. I am him, he is me. It girl, the Song of Solomon. Oh my God. I was like, ooh, I am in such a doggone love affair. I have been married for 26 years, but I tell him he is not my first love because my God is. And he's like, okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Okay.
And it just, I'm smiling. I've been smiling the whole doggone show because I have been working on myself, Tanya. I have realized, or I have been helped to realize that all my needs are met. My child is healthy. He is thriving. He is not just
Yeah.
living and stumbling his way through life. We
Yes.
are fine. And when you know that you're not over here by yourself, Tanya, oh my gosh, things are way different because you're not having to carry this load by yourself. This is that inner work that we were talking. Huh? You just made
Yeah.
me realize.
You are part of your own problem.
But you can be the
You
solution too.
you don't have to be. But what look, the part is realization allows for growth.
Hmm.
Say that again, because that was clackable.
Hold on.
Realization allows for growth. The minute you realize that you are in your own way, that you are stopping your growth and progression, is the minute that you can choose to what? Step aside. Step
Mm-hmm.
aside and get out of your own way. Stop hurting our own feelings.
Mm.
Okay? I had a I had a conversation with someone, and someone that I have a liking for. Okay. And I was like, help me not hurt my own feelings.
Mm.
I just need you to be open and honest with me so I don't hurt my own feelings, because I take accountability for my actions, for what I do, say, think, because it is a choice I made. Now, maybe I'm making a choice based off of incorrect information, but it is still a choice I make. Every move I make is a choice. And when you are operating from a place of misunderstanding, misconception, miscommunication, fear, hurt, pain, trauma, overwhelm, your decisions are not clear because you do not have clarity. So the decisions you make are coming from a flawed perspective. So, of course, you're going to be in your own way, right? Because we're operating out of a flawed sense of reality. We're operating out of our pain and not out of our passion, not out of our power. When you start operating out of your power instead of your pain, the world is going to open up for you, because you have now told the universe, the ancestors, and you've told God, hey, I am listening, I am obedient, and I know that these are lessons that I need to learn to move me to the next level. It's always going to be uncomfortable when you need to move to that next level. If
But it's
you're,
not possible.
it's never impossible. If you're a sprinter, how do you get better? Train harder, train longer, endurance training. The lessons that you're going through are nothing but endurance training. There's always going to be trauma that happens. There's always going to be bad that happens. We have the ability to choose how we respond to things. You can either let it kill you, or you can take that fear, that hurt, and that pain and turn it into motivation for your next best thing. That's the choice you get to make, right? And so, how do we cultivate harmony in our lives? How do we cultivate that? Now we've taken our walk, right? Thank you. You know what, Tanya? We have been on this planet a collective of over 100 years between the two of us. So we
Yeah,
know a
that'd
thing.
be 104 years together.
Period.
That's long, long, long,
Period.
long time. And we still figuring it out.
We still learning. We don't know everything. I don't have every answer. I have my mentors and my people that I look up to, and sometimes they're younger than me. Let me say that again. Sometimes they're younger than me. Don't think that age always equals wisdom.
Not
Age
a
equals experience. Now, hopefully, that experience is translated into wisdom because we've taken the lessons from everything that we've learned over the years and we've turned it into knowledge and experience and practices that have improved our lives so that our spiritual journey, we got off track over here, but we brought it back in alignment. So I'm back on track. There's always going to be detours. Ooh, that's shiny. Let me go look at that over there. Oh, damn, that was not a good road to take. Let me get back on track.
see how easy that was to make a decision to get back on track if you fall off.
You can do that. You can do that.
Man.
So I'm going to give y'all a couple of tips as we kind of close it out. Okay.
Oh my
Mindful
gosh.
meditation. I know.
Oh.
I know. It's already 10:52. And we be on here. You know me and Sharonda, we could talk and it'd be 2 hours. Y'all be like, we tired, but we got more to say.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But
So
wait, there's more.
wait, there's more. We'll be closing up the show and another hot thing come up. Okay, let's just talk about that for a few more minutes. But that's what we do because we want to give you guys the best of what we have. And we appreciate you and we love you. And we want you guys, I don't want another woman to go through some of the challenges that I've had to go through, that Sharonda's
Yeah.
had to go through. The goal is for us to share so that somebody else can skip a hurdle, can just leap right on over that hurdle.
Because our test is your testimony. Hold on.
Baby. Yeah,
It's a cheat code, y'all.
that's
You
what
want to
you
know? Ask. If we don't know, between the two of us, we can find somebody for you.
That's it. So, give you a couple of tips, things that you can do to kind of help you on your spiritual journey. Practice mindful meditation. What that is a powerful tool that's going to help you cultivate that inner harmony. That inner harmony is what's going to allow you to open yourself up to receiving the downloads that have been trying to get to you that have been blocked. Okay? You need to cultivate that inner harmony. And that's going to, what did I say? Connect. It's going to let you receive those downloads because you're connecting deeply with your present experiences and you're recognizing that the peaceful core that resides within us is our power. That's your power source. That opens you up to receive the downloads. So when you sit in silence, focus on your breath or on some mantra that you say. I am love. I give love. I receive love. It could be as easy as that. I am open. I am enough.
Absolutely.
My heart is open to receiving the gifts of abundance and love that the universe has for me. You get to pick what that mantra is, right? But to sit in that silence, in that quiet, and meditate on that mantra, you're creating a space for your mind to settle and your spirit to really rise above the noise of everyday life. Because when you can
Absolutely.
rise above that, that quiet dimension is where the downloads come. It's where the thoughts just pop into your head. That's that inner voice. That's the inner source, the spirit, God, ancestors speaking through you. Okay. But we have to allow ourselves that quiet, and that mindful meditation helps you get there. You can do that by practicing yoga because that helps you focus on one thing so that you're quieting everything else in your mind, right? And then cultivate gratitude as a daily part of your life. Write down those goals. Write down every day when you wake up things you are grateful for. You could do it before you go to bed too. At the end of the day, write down 3 things that you are grateful for that happened that day, that you experienced that day. One person said, "You know what? I am grateful for paper bags." And you might be thinking, what the hell? But he was like, especially a paper bag with a handle on it to make it easier for me
It's
to
the little
carry
things.
things.
It's the little things.
It's the little things. It doesn't have to be grandiose. Like, I am grateful that, it doesn't have to be. It can be, I am grateful that when I went outside, I saw a butterfly because it was beautiful and it was peaceful. It can be that simple because gratitude opens your heart to the beauty and the bounty of the present moment. And it encourages a harmonious relationship with the world around you. And again, that harmony brings that peace, which stills your spirit, which quiets the noise, which allows you to hear the divine and to get the messages, to get the love, to get the downloads that are waiting to be sent to you. It's like a traffic jam. You're blocking all of that. That's why you can't hear it. Because you need to be still to still all the things that are going in your mind so that you can hear clearly. That's what we're about. And get out in nature, baby. Nature is going to help you quiet. When you can just sit in a field in the sun and do nothing and be okay with that, that's a whole level, that's a different level of peace.
Oh my God. Girl, that thing right there, what you just said is the most important thing to me is my peace. Like, if I feel like you're coming to try to disrupt it in any kind of way, it's like the Lord is a shield. It comes down and it's like, don't come over here with that. Because if you're, remember how we were talking about uh being not at 100% and you see a doggone person come on your doggone caller ID, like, yep, I'm not even prepared because you're going to take the rest of what I have that I'm trying to
Yeah.
hold on to. So you can decide not to answer the phone. That's what voicemail
That's,
is
that's
for.
Look, those are our boundaries. I'm at 46% right now, and I'm trying to
Mm.
replenish myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This person is an energy vampire,
Woo!
and they suck all the rest of my little energy that I got. I choose my peace. I
Mm.
choose me. Start choosing you first. There's nothing wrong with that. And
Mm.
it's not being selfish. I hate when people say, you have to be selfish. You don't. You have to be self-full. Selfish to me means I'm doing something for me at the expense of others,
Hmm.
right? I'm hurting somebody else. My intention is to hurt somebody else to only focus on me. No. Self full is I choose to be, to put myself first because I need to replenish me before I can ever think about helping someone else. I have to help me first. That's self full. I'm not doing it to be malicious or to hurt somebody else. I'm doing it to save me because I am important in my life too. I have to be the most important because, especially if you have people relying on you, you have to be the most important
Mm-hmm.
person in your life to be able to be there for other people. The last tip before we roll out of here is nurture your relationships with kindred spirits. Sharonda was a guest who never left. Let's be clear. Sharonda was a guest who never left. I was like, I say to every single person, you are now part of the family. You are welcome back at any time. Sharonda was like, I could come back all the time if you want.
I mean, we're like the doggone what was the name of the twins on Super Friends? We the Wonder
The
Twins.
Wonder Twins. Wonder Twins powers
Activate.
activate, baby. Boom. Okay, phew. That's it. That's who we are, right? We came together and the show has never been the same. I could still be on here talking and I could talk. Y'all know I could run a whole show by myself. But why should I when I can have somebody else's perspectives? It's like I'm gonna bring you the tips. Sharonda brings you a lot of real life experience. We both bring that. Sharonda gonna tell some jokes. I'm gonna tell some jokes. You're going to get knowledge from both of us because we are here to pour into you.
Mm-hmm.
This is our service. This is one of the ways that God gave us to give back, to
Absolutely.
leave an impact and a legacy on this world, to help our sisters to live happy, healing, and fulfilling lives. And so we hope that you're getting that from us. We hope that we are imparting that to you and that you take something from each of these shows. Take one thing and try to just implement one aspect of it. Don't feel like you have to implement every tip that you hear from us. Take one little thing and say, I'm going to change my life and I'm going to implement this one little thing and work on that. Be consistent with that. Invest in yourself in that level.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, any final thoughts as we get about ready to roll up out to here?
Life is amazing and it requires your participation and your presence in it. It is amazing the amount of things that are waiting on you. It is I'm so excited for you to step into yourself, Tanya, and to really get to know yourself and be like, hey, I'm pretty damn cool to hang out with. You know, treat
Right.
yourself better, and everybody else around you will do the same. You treat them, you teach them how to treat you by being better to yourself.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. And as we close out today's episode, I just want to remind you of the infinite light and potential that is within each of us. Okay?
Mhm.
Remember, the journey to a spiritually charged life is personal, but it's also universal because it connects us in ways that we can't even begin to imagine, right? So I want you
Mm,
to keep shining. I want you to keep loving yourself and others. And I want you to keep growing because we're growing together. This is a journey that we are all on. We're all kind of in parallel on our own little journeys, but we're still connected and doing this together. So until um, Thursday, Thursday is our last episode of
mm.
the season. Okay. And then we're going to be off for a few weeks as we plan for season 8. And this next show, you guys do not want to miss. Let me tell you, because what we're talking about is we're talking about survivor's guilt,
Mm.
getting past survivor's guilt. And we have a special guest, my brother from another mother, Tyran Jackson. Um, and he's going to talk about his journey, the things that he's been through, survivor's guilt, resilience. Um, and it promises to be a very engaging. Hopefully, we don't get no tears because we sometimes shed a tear.
I am not promising that at all. I'm
Oh,
just,
we don't promise that because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. We'll see y'all later over in TikTok land. But I want y'all to come Thursday. Show up and show out and make sure that you come with an open heart, just ready to receive the download that comes to us and through us. Okay?
yeah,
So remember to stay blessed, radiate that beautiful, harmonious energy that you have been cultivating, and we will see you on Thursday. Where's my thing? There we go. Bye bye. Thank you for tuning in for another episode